Hey artist, welcome to Watercolor Wednesday. Hope you're ready to create. Today we're going to be creating two different galaxy scenes using warm and cool colors. Here are the materials you're going to need for today's project. Pencil and eraser, 3 different types of brushes, just a small, medium, and large brush, your masking tape, 2 cups of water, a board to put your paper on, salt, and 2 pieces of paper. Grab your masking tape and tape off the edges of your paper onto the board. Remember the technique of touching your tape first before you put it down so that it's not too sticky. Leave a tiny border around the paper to create a nice white space for your drawing to be surrounded by. Okay, let's start sketching out our planets. I'm going to put 3 on each side. And on this particular one, I'm going to include a ring around the planet just to make it a little bit more interesting. Now grab your eraser and very lightly go over your pencil mark so you can barely see it. This is a very common watercolor technique so that your pencil lines don't show. Right afterwards, grab your large brush, cover all of the areas around your planets with water, and bring in some color. This side is going to be your cool colors, so I'm putting paint on top of that wet water that we had put down on the page previously. This is called a wet on wet technique. Go slow and layer on more and more color. I brought in some blue. The more pigment you have on it, the better. While it's still wet, bring in your salt and sprinkle it all over the page. During this process, you can dip in more water if your paint starts to dry out. For this technique to work, the paper has to be relatively wet. Apply the same process on the other side with warm colors and let it dry. This is very, very important. If you don't want to wait, bring in a blow dryer and lightly go over. You can start to see the crystallization of the salt as it's pooling the color. Once it is fully dry, very carefully start to gather the salt away from the white areas, rubbing it very, very carefully. Here's a close-up view of the effect the salt had on the watercolors that we had on the page. Beautiful texture. And very, very different than when it started from just watercolor. After you've let it dry, grab your medium brush and start filling in your planets. Now reverse the colors. So if your background was warm, make your planets cool, and vice versa. If your background is cool, make your planets warm. You don't have to copy me exactly. Use your imagination to make yours as unique and awesome as possible. After you fill in your planets, grab your small brush and add some details. Let it dry. And here's the final piece. Look at all the beautiful texture you're able to create with just salt and watercolor. I can't wait to see everyone's awesome planets. Please don't forget to post. See you next time, guys. Great job.